Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Blair and today I'm doing a full face of makeup I own but never use. I really wanted to go through all of my makeup and pull out the products that I've had for quite a while and for whatever reason I just don't reach for them. And some of them it's because I tried it once and just didn't like it and didn't use it again, or some of them I actually do kind of like. They've just gotten kind of pushed to the side every time I find new products that I really like. So I brought them all out and I used them all to create this look today. If you're interested in seeing all the products that I own and never use, please keep watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm really trying to reach 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and it would really mean a lot to me if you would subscribe. Please give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and make sure to go follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, let's get started. For primer today, this one was a pretty easy choice for me because I don't own a ton of primers, and the ones that I do own I typically do use, but I do not use this one. And I wouldn't say it's because I hate it, it's just not one that I find myself gravitating towards. It's the Physicians Formula Spotlight Illuminating Primer. And I have used this in the past, and I feel like the reason I don't find myself reaching for it is because if I remember correctly, it is very shimmery. It's not so much of an illuminating primer as it is just straight up shimmer, unless I'm confusing this with something else. But I feel like that's why I have not loved it in the past, just because I love the lit from within kind of look for my face, especially under makeup, but I don't necessarily want it to look like glittery, if that makes sense. Typically when I want more of an illuminating base, I use the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. So that's probably another reason why I don't use this. For a color corrector for under my eyes, I don't have many correctors, kind of like the primers, that I don't use. I use pretty much all of them that I own, and I use this one sometimes, but not often. So I wanted to pull it out for this video. It's by Ulta Beauty. It's the Ulta Color Correcting Liquid Concealer, and the shade is Peach. So I think this comes in like skin tone shades for an actual concealer color as well. But this one is the peach color. And the only thing I can think of as to why I don't reach for this one is the texture of it is very interesting. It's very moussey. So you're probably not going to be able to tell just by the swatch, but it is a very dry, moussey formula. And it's also very peach. Very, very kind of a darker peach. It's not so much a brightening kind of color. So I guess maybe that's why I don't use it. But it's not bad, and it's pretty affordable. It's just not my favorite, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I wanted to pull it out again for this video. So I am going to use my finger to blend this in. I am also kind of remembering as I'm blending this in, this peach, because it's a darker color, it's kind of hard to blend in to my skin because it is so orangey. So I think that's another reason I don't reach for it a ton, because there's a fine line between peach and orange. Peach is good because it does neutralize, but if you get too much of that orangey color, it can be kind of hard to blend in to your skin, but hopefully I can make this work. For concealer, I'm kind of embarrassed to even tell you how many concealers I have because I have so many, And I have quite a few actually that just kind of sit and I don't use them. So I brought them all over to my desk here, and I'm going to share with you all of them. I'm not going to use all three, but I'll share with you what they are. The first one is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I really do not know why I don't use this. I think maybe it's because I just have a lot of similar concealers to this one that I just like better. Like, I love the Maybelline Age Rewind, and typically I will choose that over this one. So I just don't use it. And this is another one I don't use. This one I don't use for a lot of reasons. It's a little too light for me, and I find it to be a little bit drying. It's the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer. I know this is like a holy grail for a lot of people, but I don't know. It's just never been my favorite. So that I have it, but it just kind of sits there. And then the last one is the number 7 Lift and Luminate Concealer. This one I actually really do like. For some reason, it just kind of gets pushed to the back of my concealer drawer, and I don't ever use it. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to use. I think I may use this number 7 one. And I actually have 2 of these. I know. I have fair and light. So I think I might use both. And we'll see what we think. But I do have a ton of concealers. I have the most concealer and foundations because I love them. And I just love trying out new ones. So I guess I just accumulate a lot of them, and you know. So that color is light, and this one is fair. I'm not going to use much of this fair one. I'm just going to put a tiny bit right in the inner corner of my eye. I'm blending these in with my favorite sponge right now, which is the Wet n Wild Beauty Sponge. I know I'm not the only person that owns makeup, and for whatever reason certain products just don't get used, and sometimes it's because I don't like them, but sometimes it's just because I try so many things and I'm always finding new things that I really like, and then it's like you forget about all the older things that you liked or you bought or whatever, and that's what these products are for me. So there's the concealer. So this is a medium coverage to me. It's definitely not full coverage. And like, to me, you can still see, you may not be able to tell on camera, but you can still see a lot of my blueness peeking through under my eyes. And that is with that color corrector underneath. So this doesn't give fantastic coverage, but I will say if you have more mature under eyes, or you don't have a lot to cover and you want something that covers but not a ton, I do think this number 7 concealer might be good for you. It's just not my absolute favorite in the whole world, but it's not bad. Now we're going to move on to foundation, and this one may be shocking to some people because I think this is a holy grail foundation for a lot of people. And it's not that I hate it. I definitely don't hate it. It's just not, I'd never reach for it. I couldn't tell you the last time I wore it. It's the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I have it in the shade Porcelain. And sometimes I think maybe I don't reach for this one because I'm not crazy about the shade. In fact, it did take me a little while to find a shade that I thought kind of matched me in this foundation. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but every time I've worn it, I felt like it wasn't the most flattering on my skin. So I'm gonna use a little bit of this today. I feel like I see so many videos where people talk about this foundation and how it's one of their favorites and they use it all the time. And I don't know why. I just never I never reach for it. Blending it in with my Sigma F80. So if you have products like this in your makeup drawer that you just don't use, they just kind of sit there, comment what product or products those are in the comments, because I'm always so curious about stuff like that. Because I know I'm not the only person that has makeup and for whatever reason they just don't use it. So for powder, this is another thing that I don't have a ton that I don't use because I don't own too many powders, but I thought this would be kind of funny to mention in this video. I have the Anastasia, let me just put it back in here, the Anastasia Contour Kit. This is the light medium, the powder one. And does everyone remember when everybody on YouTube was using this? And I remember so clearly, I went to TJ Maxx one day. This is old. I've had this a few years. And they had this for $16.99. And I just was so excited. I just thought, oh my gosh, this is what everybody is using on YouTube. I have to buy it. So I did. And you know what? I have probably used this once, maybe twice, but I never use it. Never use it. Look, it looks brand new. It never gets used. I just vividly remember seeing in every single YouTube video, people were using this banana powder under their eyes to set their concealer. So naturally, as soon as I see this at TJ Maxx, I'm like, oh my God, I have to have it. And I clearly wasted my $17 because it's never been used. So I figured I would use it today. We're gonna use the banana shade in the middle and use this to set my concealer. Does everyone remember this when this was in every YouTube video? I really think I saw it constantly. So then as soon as I saw it at TJ Maxx, I instantly thought, oh my gosh, I have to have it. No, you don't. I try to be much better about this now, especially with makeup like at TJ Maxx that's discounted. You start to kind of feel like, oh my gosh, this is such a great price. If I bought this at Sephora, it would be so much more expensive, blah, blah, blah. So you then feel the need to buy it, and really you don't need it. So I try to think about those things a little bit more now when I shop at TJ Maxx, but I just thought that was funny because I remember everybody used this. So for bronzer, I actually had a separate bronzer I was going to use, but I think I am going to use one of the bronze shades in this contour palette just because, again, it's never been used. So I want to use it. I guess I'll mix this shade and this shade. And hopefully it won't be too warm or too cool. I don't know. It looks a little bit more warm than I typically like. I just really like neutral bronzer. I just feel like neutral colors on me are the most flattering, but neither one of these are very neutral. They're either cool tone or warm tone. So that's not bad. The bronzer is not bad at all. It's kind of pretty actually. I feel like you just kind of have to be careful with these. If you want a very natural looking bronze, I feel like you could definitely overdo it with these powders, but mixing the two bronzers doesn't look bad. For blush, I wanted to use this one from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the Kylie Pressed Blush in the shade We're Going Shopping. I love the name of this. I love the packaging. It's a very, very pretty matte, kind of a corally blush. So it's not that I don't like this blush, I just do not find myself reaching for it. But when I have used it, I did like it. I don't know. I don't know why. I just don't reach for it. So it is pretty. It's a pretty neutral blush. It's not super peachy or super pink. It's kind of right in the middle. But I do like it. I don't think it's super pigmented, which I don't hate. And there's no shimmer. It's a matte blush. I like it. Don't love it. I guess that's why I don't use it. But it's not bad. For eyebrows, okay, I have two Stila brow products. One of them I got from Sephora a long time ago. This is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Eyebrow Color. This is in the shade medium. And then a few months ago, I found the pencil version of that at TJ Maxx, actually. It's the Stila Sketch and Sculpt Brow Pencil. And let me back up. I got this one that has the little, I guess it's kind of like a little marker brow pencil. And I got this because I went in Sephora one time and they had, I guess she worked for Stila and she put this on me. I don't know why. She just kind of came over to me and said, "Can I try this on your eyebrows?" And I was like, sure. So she put it on me and I liked it when she did it. But I never use brow pencils like that you have to kind of draw on like with a marker or like a pen tip. I don't know. I just never use products like that. So I bought it. I used it for a little while and I haven't used it in months. So it just kind of sits. And kind of same with the pencil. I just kind of got it on a whim at TJ Maxx and I don't use it. So figured I would try to use it today. The color is pretty good for me. This pencil is also in the shade medium. Belle, what you doing, babe? Belle. Okay, apparently she's just gonna chill on the back of this chair. For the eyes, this product, I truly don't know why I don't use this because I was just swatching it on my hand and it is so pretty. It's one of the La Mercier Caviar Chrome Veils. So this is the liquid version, I guess, of the caviar stick. I use the caviar sticks all the time from her, and I have this one of these liquid ones in the tube. This one is in the shade Gilded Fresco. And that is it right there. It's so pretty and reflective. And I don't use this. I do not know why. So I wanted to just apply a little bit of this on my eyelid. And then I'm just going to use my ring finger and just kind of tap this in to blend it out. It's not as reflective though, I will say. After I blended it out, it's almost like my finger kind of picked up some of the product. So it's not as shimmery now as it was when I applied it at first. So I don't know, maybe that's why I haven't used that in the past. It's pretty, it looks pretty on my hand, but it looks a little underwhelming on my eyes. So I don't know about that. And I am going to use, this is the Catrice and Eman eyeshadow palette. I've had this for quite a while. I got this back when I first started my YouTube channel. So I did want to use it again. It's a pretty palette. I just don't reach for it a ton. So I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade right here. It's called Melrose. It's kind of a peachy pink. And taking this with just a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to apply this lightly in my crease. So this color is not super pigmented. Maybe it's because I'm using it with a brush. It might be better to use this with your finger, but it's not super pigmented. I'm gonna try going in with this warm brown right here called Sunset, and I'm gonna use the same brush. I'm just taking the tiniest bit of this, tapping off a lot of it. And I'm gonna add this in the same spot we just put that Melrose shade. These Catrice shadows do blend pretty easily, so I do like the formula. I think it's just the color scheme of this palette is a little too warm for me, because most of the shades are very warm, almost orangey tones, which I like for certain makeup looks, but not for my everyday look, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to take this middle shade, Laguna, and this one is more of a bronzy shade, a bronzy shimmer. It's very pretty. And I'm just going to use my finger again and apply this kind of towards the outer portion of my lid and up into the outer V, which is pretty. I'm actually going to use this for highlight, and I'm also going to put it on the inner portion of my lid. I also never use this. It's a mini Fenty, let's see, this is one of the Freestyle highlighters, Killawatt Freestyle highlighters in the shade Hustla Baby. I feel like this is another thing that's been super popular on YouTube. And I got this little mini size in a kit a while ago, and I just don't use it. I don't know why. It is a really pretty shade. There it is swatched on my finger. So it's really pretty. I don't know why I don't use it. I might even like this more as an eyeshadow. So I'm going to just apply this right at the inner corner of my lid and over into the center. Okay, so that shade is very pretty on the lid. I like that a lot. So maybe I'll start using this as eyeshadow. And then I am going to take a little bit of this and apply it as my highlighter too, using this Anastasia A23 brush. And wow, that is very intense, but it's pretty. Belle. Okay, she just wants to sit in my lap, I guess, for the remainder of this video. But that highlight really like, so I'm glad I tried this out again because I'll definitely be using this more. That's another reason I wanted to do this video. I thought this might help me discover some things in my collection that maybe I thought I wasn't crazy about, but then when I use them, I realize I am. For eyeliner, I'm going to use this one from Urban Decay. It's one of the 24/7 liners. This one is in the shade Alkaline. So it's actually a really pretty, kind of a wine color. It's very interesting. That's it right there. So it's a really pretty purple. I got this because it was Elle Leary here on YouTube. If you don't watch her, you should. She makes really great beauty videos. I saw her use this in a video and that's why I got it, and then I just have never used it. I actually do really like the formula of these Urban Decay pencils. So this shade is really pretty. I don't know why I don't use it. I truly don't. Just kind of trying to use this on my waterline too. So this is a very pretty color. It's a really beautiful plum. I'm just gonna take this small little accent brush from Real Techniques and I'm gonna kind of smudge it out just a little bit. One thing I do really like about these Urban Decay pencils is you can work with them and kind of smudge them out, but you can't wait too long because right after you apply them, you have a little bit of time to work with them, but then once they set, they really do set. They do not move. So if you have trouble with eyeliner not lasting on your eyes, maybe try one of these Urban Decay 24/7 pencils. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I used this Urban Decay pencil. This looks really, really pretty, especially if you have green eyes, hazel eyes. This wine color really makes green pop, in my opinion. I really, really like that pencil, actually. I do not know why I don't use that. So I'm glad I tried this. In fact, I think I might put a little bit of this on my lower lash line, just a tiny, tiny bit, because I really do like how that looks. So I'm putting just a tiny bit on the outer corner. I'm gonna take a tiny little brush like this. This is just a little Morphe eyeshadow brush. This is the E36. And I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It's kind of a purpley brown, kind of similar to the liner. It's called Sweetser. And I'm taking just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of that on this little brush, and I'm just going to use it to kind of blend out that eyeliner. For mascara, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous mascara. I feel like this is another cult favorite that you used to see on YouTube all the time. You don't hear about it as much now, but I feel like it used to be something you heard about all the time. And I've had it many times, and I feel like it's just one of those mascaras for me that it's not bad. Like, I don't dislike it or anything. It's just not one that is my absolute favorite that I reach for all the time. Okay, so I did apply some to my bottom lashes, and I do like that mascara. So I'm going to move this over to my everyday makeup, and hopefully I will use it more. Last but not least, we have lips. And I have had this lip liner for quite a while and definitely do not reach for it. It's one of the Milani Color Statement lip liners. This is in the shade 03 Nude. It's a really, really nice creamy nude lip liner. Kind of blending it in a little with my finger. But yeah, that's a really pretty lip liner. For lips, I'm going to use this one from Marc Jacobs. This was part of the new Nudes collection that he did, and this one is in the shade Role Play. I got this at TJ Maxx actually, and this is a super, super pretty color. And again, I don't know why I don't use it. It's a very similar color to that lip liner. What I do like about this lipstick is the formula. It's kind of like a balmy formula, like a lip balm with tint to it, but it's very, very pigmented and super pretty, so I do like it. And last but not least, I have this gloss from Morphe randomly. This is the Flower Crown shade. I feel like this was another product I bought because I saw it on YouTube and never use it, so I'm gonna use a little bit. Oh, wow, that's pretty. It looks really pretty over this lip combo. Wow. I really, really like that too. So this is the final look. Honestly, overall, I'm pretty happy with how this look turned out. There are definitely some standout products in here, things that maybe I definitely should be using on a daily basis, and I don't really. So I'll kind of do a quick recap of everything that I used. For the primer, I am definitely still not a huge fan of this. It's a little too illuminating for me, and I cannot believe I'm saying that because I love glowy face products, but overall I'm not sold on the finish of this, so I'm not crazy about that, unfortunately. The corrector is okay. Not absolutely in love with it. I definitely have a bunch more that I like a lot more than this one. Overall, not great, but I don't hate it. The concealer, again, is okay, but it's not something I'm going to choose over like my Maybelline Age Rewind, my Dior concealer. It's just not something I'm going to pick over some of my other concealers. The foundation is growing on me. It's definitely not a foundation I would use on a daily basis, but I do think if I use a very tiny amount like I did today, maybe I could try mixing it with something. I might get some more use out of this. The contour kit, yeah, this is okay. It looks fine with this makeup, but this was a waste of money for sure. I'd never use this. I'm probably still not going to use this, so I might not even keep that, to be honest. The blush I like. I just have a lot of blushes that I like, but I am kind of glad I did bring this one out again because I do think it's a pretty tone, especially for spring. The brow products, again, I like, but I don't know that I would choose them over my everyday brow products like my ABH Brow Wiz, my Boy Brow, my Believe Beauty Brow Gel. I just don't know if I would choose these over those, but I do overall like the way my brows turned out. The Laura Mercier Caviar, I was kind of disappointed with this. I'm almost wondering if it's gone bad or something because it looked really pretty and reflective on my hand, but then when I put it on my eye and kind of blended it out, that kind of went away. So I don't know, this one I'm kind of iffy about, I'm not sure. I actually did really like this eyeshadow palette. I think this is great quality. It's just not the tones that I choose on a daily basis. It's a little too warm for me, but I do think it's nice if you really love orangey, bronzy tones. This I am very excited about, the Fenty highlighter. I'm not sure why I haven't used this because I think this is really pretty on my cheeks and on my eyes. I mean, I really love that. So I will definitely continue to use this. And the other standout product is this eyeliner. Not only is this super easy to use, really creamy, you can smudge it, it stays, but this color is so unique. It's so, so beautiful. I'll show it to you again. This color right here, if you have green or hazel eyes, even if you have blue or brown eyes, I think this color would be pretty. But I just think this is a very unique shade, and I think it really makes green stand out. Like, I think my eyes look really green. I think it's because of this pencil. And the lip combo, actually very pleasantly surprised. I've never paired this Milani lip liner with this Marc Jacobs lipstick, but the combo actually works really well, and this flower crown looks super pretty on top. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with how this turned out. Let me know if you like this kind of video. I think these are kind of fun. Like I said, I feel like it's a good way to make sure I'm using all of my makeup and to kind of rediscover things in my collection. So let me know if you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll start doing these videos more consistently. Also, let me know in the comments any products that you have that you bought and thought you were gonna love, but you just don't use them for whatever reason. I'd love to know your products, so let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe and go follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.